comeback. How proud are you?
Yeah, it was a very impressive last quarter, and obviously, we were in a bit of a hole. I thought the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game we played really, really well, but then probably for best part of 3 quarters, Gold Coast controlled the game. So for the group to sort of stay composed and then obviously find that energy and effort in the last quarter was really impressive.
You're always confident you had the run, but they're pretty young.
Yeah. No, I think they played a really strong game, and as I said, probably for 2.5, nearly 3 quarters, they were well in control. So, no, we were up against it, but I do have great confidence in the body of work from a conditioning point of view that the group's done, in the pre-season, the off-season, and in reality for many years. So, it's not unexpected that we've got some capacity in the last, but we certainly needed it.
You're getting belted around the stoppages there for a while. What?
Yeah, so centre bounce was all right, but mid-arc stoppage, they certainly they were getting the better of that, and therefore, fortunately our defenders held up really well in that moment, and I thought, across the whole game they held up really well, but then in the last quarter, the ability to get a little bit of drive off half-back was important as well.
I'd like to know about how you managed Danielle Ponted through the game, because first quarter she's missing shots that she wouldn't miss in a century, and then you decided to move her into midfield and she starts having a real impact. Just talk to me about how you...
Yeah, nothing different really for DP. She played pretty much a similar role to what she does most weeks. She was generating lots of opportunities, and so that's the starting point. Clearly, there's a level of frustration for her personally when she didn't quite make the most of them. But I thought, pleasingly, it didn't detract from her effort and her intensity. I thought that she played out the game with great energy. And as I said, even though she probably didn't get on the end of all of them today, she certainly helped set a few up. So another strong performance.
And finished the game with both Hatchard and Marinoff up forward, which 3 years ago would have been unthinkable, and now you've got other players who...
Yeah, a little bit of that was in transition. So, but we certainly had one of them forward at various stages. So that's evolution of the group, and the Sarah Goodwin coming on as a new midfielder this year. Tia Charlton can continue to develop, and Brooke Boylow as well. So the ability to have a greater depth in there allows us to have a bit of flexibility, and obviously this week we had some significant outs in terms of Caitlin and Chelsea ahead of the ball. So we needed to adapt and make a few different looks.
Feels like you've been pretty scratchy through the first half of the season, but you're 4-2.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How do you see it? Bigger picture.
No, I think probably last week was our most consistent 4-quarter performance. But each game there's been elements of the game which we've felt, that's it, that's what it should look like, and then other bits are not quite right. But ultimately, it has felt as though there's been improvement. Perhaps today we didn't quite build on last week, but there were certainly elements of the game and individuals who either came into the team or had to play a bigger role who were able to step up. So we're not where we want to be exactly, but we're halfway through the year as well. So there's a long way to go, and we need to just keep finding ways to win games and hopefully get ourselves in a position where we qualify and then and hopefully play our best footy at the right end.
When was the decision made, pre-season, but to move Sarah Goodwin into midfield? Because that was outstanding tonight. Yeah, no, we definitely... we've seen her capacity in terms of ball-winning ability across half-back, but also she's a great athlete and, she's great in the contest. So all those things sort of say, well, she might be a pretty good midfielder. She spent the whole pre-season training as a mid. She's spent a little bit of time at half-back this season just on other player availability, but the long-term game for her is probably midfield and on the evidence of not only today or tonight, but right all across the season so far, she's really developing well.
Hey, how much of a fuss will you make this week specifically of Noffy's milestone? Will you make a huge fuss of it within the team?
Yeah, well, it's a club milestone. I mean, the amazing stat is that she's played every game that the club has participated in. So it's 100 games for the club. So that's really worth celebrating. And clearly, Ebony being part of every single one of them is also worth celebrating. So I think we should. I think we should make a big deal of her, but also of the whole team and what the AFLW side for Adelaide has meant to our club. It's been transformational in terms of the way that our club functions, and clearly that's happened all across the league. But for us in Adelaide, it's been really, really significant. So we'll definitely make a bit of a song and a dance, and have a bit of a celebrate, and and amongst all that, try and narrow the focus towards winning another game of footy as well.
Speaking of milestones, happy birthday for earlier in the week.
Thank you, mate.
Your wife said online, can someone please organise a cake? I had time, I can't make. Did you get a cake?
I actually did get a cake, but I'm not sure who the sponsors are. But it was one of those $2 ones that from one of the from one of the major supermarket outlets. So, but it was quite all right actually. Fair play. The big issues, yeah. No, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.